Hello everyone, a special video for today. I'm not going to have any HO scale. So to explain you, I wanted to have for Christmas a nice antique train. So I've went on Kijiji in my local area, and I found this guy that was selling this old 1920s. He says it's like from 1920 to 1925. It's an ives O gauge locomotive from the 1920s, and the frame is cast iron. The body is sheet metal soldered together, and I've just cleaned up all the inside. I'm gonna put a clear coat so to prevent it to rust more. The motor was the thing that was the most in bad shape. When the guy tried it on his layout, it wasn't running that great. So he says it was for sale at 125 Canadian dollars. I bring it down to 100 Canadian dollars with 10 bucks of 027 track. So it tested it and it wasn't running that great. So I got home, and since I have restored like 2 HO American Flyer and 1 American Flyer S gauge, I knew a little bit what I was doing, but I still did some research on the internet. So when I got home, I opened it, and I saw that there was no brushes left. So it was just brass, like fingers that was rubbing against the motor. Against the motor contactor. So it's a little bit grooved down. So my thought is that this loco ran with no brushes for a while. So what I did is I took apart a big 12 volt DC motor. I took the brush out and I cut them and soldered. Sorry, you may see better on this side. I soldered the brush to the old brush fingers, because it's not like brushes, like cylindric brushes like in nylon marks. It's just like fingers, brass or copper fingers with brush on the tip of it. So it's hard to see like this, but there's the old 12 volt motor brushes that it's just solder on it, and with some adjustment and cleaning of the contactor, lubrication of every, like this is the motor shaft, this is the motor shaft, that's the motor gear inside there. Those are the gears. See, it says Hive Toys. All the gear, the wheels, the bearings, those have been polished with my Dremel brass brush. The wheels, they were super dirty and there was some black paint on it. I polished those. There were some like cracks in the wheels. I didn't like that, so I just took some crazy glue and I filled the crack with crazy glue, because this is like 1920s, so it's freaking old. So everything's been cleaned, lubricated, and the only thing thing I didn't like is what the shell was repainted, but there's the decals, because I've searched on eBay and they sell reproduction decals. So that's the only thing, that it's been repainted. You can see the old color, this apple green, and that's the green that he put. The guy was really nice. It was an old a really nice old guy. It was in maybe like 70 years old. And yeah, let me show you how this motor run on the track that I have. So for the moment, the track is not clean. It has not been clean, so it's super dirty, and it's just on my bedroom floor, because I might do a O gauge layout under my HO layout. So I think this is a like 6-volt motor, because the motor coils are only 0.5 ohms, and I think a 12-volt motor is a 1 ohm or 1.5 ohm, and it starts at the super beginning of the transformer. It may sparks. It's because the track are dirty. So yeah, this is a ives 1920s O gauge motor. Yeah, it sparks, but it runs super great. With all the work I've done to it, I can't wait to put it back in the loco. Let's see. It can go super slow. This is the least amount of power I can put through it. Yeah, so I'm gonna do an update tomorrow to show the motor back in the loco, and I'll put that together. So yeah, thanks for watching.